Hello SLAPAFISH community and welcome back to another World Tanks console video. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Hellcat 105 HMC, the tank that you get for summer games if you complete all of those summer games, but you can still buy it if you didn't complete it. So I was going to do this tank last, because first I was going to do the Chimera, then the Centurion 5-1, then the Hellcat, but a lot of people have been requesting for this Hellcat. I'm like, okay, Hellcat next. And the Centurion 5-1 will be on Monday and Tuesday. So, I guess we get to go right into it. Now let's go start on the engine. Alright, so for the engine, I'm going to be comparing the Hellcat 105 to the Hellcat. And that's going to be for the entire tank comparison, because they play very similar because they're the same tank, but they still have their differences. As you can see on the engine, the regular Hellcat has more horsepower, but the 105 has greater horsepower, well, more horsepower to ratio at 24.24, and Hellcat is faster at 72 kilometers, and the 105 it's slower on its reverse speed at 12 kilometers, which is painfully slow. You'll understand how slow that is when you are trying to back up and reverse from somebody, and it's like, okay, tank, please hurry up so I won't die, because you have no armor. And you have 20% fire chance to get set on fire. Now we move on to the gun. So most people thought that the Hellcat 105 was going to be like a derpy Hellcat because of the name Howitzer. We knew what kind of gun it was getting. We knew it was going to get a Hellcat. We knew it was going to get a 105 Howitzer. Now if you think, most Howitzers are derp guns. Now, this is the completely opposite. This is not a derp gun. The Hellcat 105 gets a 105mm howitzer, like I just said, and the regular Hellcat gets a 90mm. Reload time on the Hellcat 105 is 2.5 seconds greater than the Hellcat. Aiming time is worse. Of course, bigger gun. Accuracy at 100 meters, which is just regular accuracy, is a little bit worse, at 0.5 meters worse. And actually, this is accuracy on moving. Accuracy while moving the tank. The 105 howitzer actually has the better accuracy on moving the tank, which is weird. But moving the turret, it's worse on the 105. You can both shoot at the same range at 720 meters. Max elevation and gun depression are both the same at 20 and 10 degrees. Alright, so now we move on to the tracks. The 105 is on the top and the Hellcat is at the bottom. The rotation speed is a little bit quicker on the 105, but the terrain resistance is better on the regular Hellcat. Okay, now we move on to the turret, the concealment, and the spotting. So I decided to add the concealment and spotting stuff in here with the turret, because the turret also has the radio in here. So spotting and concealment sounds really good to put together. And if I did the turret and the radio separate, it's just going to be pointless because the radio only shows you the view range, which I can see right here. So never mind the where it says concealment 100, concealment 62, spotting 89, spotting 73. Never mind that. That changes because of my crew and equipment I have on the tank and consumables. So as you can see, both Hellcats have the same concealment while stationary and moving at 37% while stationary and 22% while moving. Now the spotting, the 105 actually has less spotting, less view range, and less signal range than the regular Hellcat. And by the turret rotation speed, both of the Hellcats have terrible turret rotation speed at 16 degrees a second, which is terrible. Yeah. Alright, now we go on to the ammunition. So all the rounds on the Hellcats are the same, except for its premium. The 105 gets heat, and the regular Hellcat gets APCR. So, and the 105 on its standard does 320 damage. Hellcat on its standard does 240. On the Hellcat's 105, remember, the AP rounds on the Hellcat 105 does 320, but the heat rounds on the Hellcat does 350, the 105 Hellcat. And the damage on the high explosive rounds does 410. Now here comes the Hellcat. It's 240 damage for both AP and APCR, and 320 on its high explosive round. So the Hellcat's high explosive round at 320 damage does just as much damage as the standard rounds as the 105s, and less than the heat rounds on the 105. And the Hellcat 105 penetration is 165 on standard, 208 on its heat, and 56 on its high explosive rounds. The regular Hellcat has 160 millimeters penetration on its AP, which is 5 millimeters less than the 105s. The Hellcat has 243 millimeters of penetration on its APCR, which is really, it's like 34 millimeters better than the 105, which is a big difference. The Hellcat high explosive penetration is 45 millimeters, which is 11 millimeters weaker than the 105s. As you can see, the Hellcat, the one on the right, gets 30 rounds, and the one on the left gets 40 rounds. So you get 10 more rounds on your 105. So that's pretty cool. Have a mixture of rounds. And I guess that's it for stats. I guess that's enough for me talking. Now we can go jump into some gameplay. Okay, I forgot about the armor of the Hellcats. So both of the Hellcats have the same exact armor, and this is the armor. There's no armor. Nothing. No matter where you shoot, you're always going to penetrate, unless RNG completely hates you and you bounce off something random. So, enjoy that. Alright, so we ended up on Airfield Standard Battle on top tier. And remember, this is a PD, lightly armored PD. If you have a Hellcat and you like your Hellcat, play this like your Hellcat. It's basically the same playstyle, but you have a bigger gun, and yeah, just enjoy it, just like your Hellcat. You really like your Hellcat, then this is the tank for you. So I'm going to come over here and go to my prime tank destroyer spot in this map. A lot of people like to go to like D9, but I'm like, why? Then you gotta wait for people to just come around. Over here, you have giant open fields to shoot at. Anybody that's dumb enough to come out in the open, you just punish them for it. And light tanks and medium tanks like to run around in that middle spot right there. So I'm just gonna say hit it. Oh yeah. You may be wondering, why do I have 25 heat rounds on this tank? Well, I started playing like this tank, like a normal tank. And look, there's a T1 heavy. He's out there in the middle. Die. It's fun. But anyway, yeah, I started playing this like a normal tank. Loaded out like I do normally. I put 3 high explosive, 5 heat rounds, and the rest on AP. I was like, you know what? Let me try something. Let's put like a whole bunch of rounds on the heat spot, because they have more penetration and more damage. It's basically like a pay-to-win tank, but remember, these are heat rounds. So heat rounds can't do the same thing as AP rounds. Heat rounds get absorbed by space armor. Heat rounds get absorbed by, like, obstacles. You can't shoot through obstacles on the track. They're saying you can't go through track armor with heat rounds. But with AP rounds, you can. So that's why I have like 10 AP rounds. And I think the AP rounds are faster than the heat rounds. Most of the time they are, but I don't remember about this thing. Finally hit that BIS. Finally did. After so many times. And look at that. Hellcat 105. Oh, sorry, little buddy. Bye. See how much I like this spot? I got AP round, and I overshot him. Absolution. If I only had heat rounds on this tank, I would not be able to defend that absolution unless I hit his little lower plate. That's the only spot not covered by heat rounds. Look at these guys just falling down this spot. Boom. OI. Half hit points. I got one AP round left. Really worried about that. Absolution. Look at that, guys. Almost two-shotted OI experimental, and I'm about to be loaded to finish him off. Boom, loaded. I also do have it at the fastest fire rate you can have it on the tank. I have gun rammer, crew vent, gun rammers, nation consumables, and brothers and arms. You can't get crew vents because it's an open top turret. So yeah, this is the fastest you can get it unless you have Adrenaline Rush activated. Even though we've been doing damage and we've been firing as long as we see them take in the open, we have 4 kills, 2,334 damage, but still, this team is like, no, we're just gonna die anyway. I found a T-3485, a tier 6 medium tank at 720 hit points, but 2 shots into him leaves him crippled. Look at him. He's just running away. It's like, where am I getting shot from? I don't put a shot into him, and he's dead. I'm really starting to like this Hellcat. Look, M4, M6. Right now, I'm kind of scared. Remember, you have like terrible armor, so you don't want to get out in the open spotted. You gotta aim really good for this tank to be effective. And you don't want to shoot on the move because it has a terrible accuracy. But, speaking of that, we're the only person left. 1 versus 5. And here comes an M6 to capture our base. Yeah, he's a 2-shot for us. I put a good shot into him, 330 damage. It's bringing us to 3,300 damage. And right here, I start to get a little bit careless. And since these are heat rounds, it got absorbed in the obstacle. It got absorbed in the building. If it was AP rounds, there was a chance of it going through the wall. But since it was heat rounds, it had no chance of going through that wall. Alright, so we do able to take off that M6. And here's the M4 and the Firefly coming after me. If I put the M4 out of its misery, it's gone. Now, since we're firing the heat rounds, which has 350 average damage, there is a possibility we could one-shot that guy right there. But there's more of a possibility while we're shooting heat rounds than AP rounds. So it's 1 versus 4. I would really love to take out that Firefly. Would really love to run to the airfield, but I can't. Artillery is just... I gotta go get the artillery. Here's a Churchill 7. Boom. Down to half hit points. But he did spot me. Churchill is going to be so close. It's either he's going to be a one-shot or not. Ooh, artillery. And the accuracy and my slow reaction time gets us killed. And we're dead. It was a good round. This is what the Hellcat 105 is supposed to be doing. At the back, doing huge amounts of damage fast. We are able to make 36,533 silver, ace master badge, 7 kills, and 3,955 damage. And look at this team! They did nothing! Barely anybody did over 400 damage. There was 3 guys, and that's not including me. 3 out of 14 guys did over 400 damage. Think about that. Out of tier 6. Terrible. But that's it for me. If you like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, remember /fish because why would that? And peace out. See ya.